What's up, y'all? Today we are going to be talking about boundaries. As human beings, I think we really underestimate how important boundaries is in our everyday life, in all of our relationships. Boundaries is so important, and if you can't understand boundaries, then your relationships are just not going to be successful.
I don't want your number, no. I don't wanna give you mine, no. I don't wanna meet you nowhere, no. I wanna.
So let's just get into the video. I think the most important issue is not overstepping the boundaries. For instance, how would you feel if someone was constantly inviting themselves over your house, right? Oh, Liv, I want to come over. Liv, when are you going to invite me over? Things like that. I would be irritated, and I'm sure you would be irritated too. You invited yourself over my house. I didn't invite you over there. So it will automatically make you kind of like, no, like, do not come in my space. Like, if I didn't invite you, you know, that you don't have that right to, you know, invite yourself over my space. I just feel like it's the same with, you know, relationships and with friendships and things like that. If that person did not invite you in their space, specifically, like if they're talking about a relationship or they're talking about their family things and issues and stuff like that, if they did not say, hey, can I talk to you about this? Or, you know, hey, I wanted your advice on something like this. Just kind of inviting you in that space. Then there should be no reason that you start like prying into their personal information, you know, talking about, oh yeah,
what's you and so-and-so doing? What y'all eating? What's going on with your parents and everything?
Like, that's none of your business. I hate to tell you, but it's not your business. You don't need to be like inviting yourself over this person's house. They're in their house. If you do that, if you are inviting yourself in this person's space, you can't be mad when they're like, no, I don't want to share that with you because I didn't invite you, you know? So respecting that, in a sense, like waiting for that invitation, wait until that person invites you over their house will help you in, you know, not overstepping. You always wait for an invitation. You never invite yourself over, because when you get shut down, you can't be mad because you weren't invited. And then another important rule is not giving your opinion when it wasn't asked for. A lot of the times you will be like putting in your opinion, putting your mouth on stuff that nobody told you to put your mouth on. Like, I didn't ask you how my hair looked, then you don't need to be telling me how my hair looked. Like, if I say, hey girl, is my hair okay? Then that gives you time to be like, oh yeah, a little bit is off, it's a little off, your coloring needs a retouch. Like, then you can put your input in. If I asked you for it, stop giving your opinion when it wasn't asked for. If it was not called for, you don't need to be talking about it. Just mind your business. Like, mind your business, like, because it's just not, you really just need to focus on that. And you know, if you have nothing good to say, just don't open your mouth. Yeah, I get it may be hard, you know, because I really struggle with my facial expressions and like not like, you know, people making a whole bunch of faces, you know, it's hard for me. But you know, at some point you just kind of get it together. Not giving your opinion when it wasn't asked for, and then not inviting yourself over people's space. And even when people ask you for your opinion, always ask them why. Don't you know, immediately share it, I'll say, because you know, some people will just want to hear your opinion so they can kind of argue with you about it. And so just be like, hey, you know, why are you asking me? Like, why do you want my opinion? Because if it's just like so you can try to convince me your opinion, then I don't really want to. It's just opening the door for more arguments and future confrontations. So just always ask why, so you can prepare yourself for whatever that is. You work to get to a certain point. Let's use Subway Surfers as an example. You know, you have the characters that you want. You have to get a certain amount of money that you earn from playing the game in order to lock the character that you want. It's the same again with relationships, is that, you know, you have to continuously put in your 10 cents and, you know, show that person that you can be trusted. Because me personally, I'm not just going around trusting everybody that I talk to. Like, I have to really feel you out, and if I don't like the energy that you're giving me, then I'm not going to tell you anything, you know. I think it's just a lot of it is, you know, putting in that work, you know, showing and proving yourself to be trustworthy, and putting your 10 cents in. Daily or weekly how are yous can go a long way. People don't really share how they're really doing. They show their highlights and all that stuff. So asking someone how they're doing on a genuine level can really help someone like get closer to you and trust you in that area. So you have to keep working to stack up that bread in order to unlock that boundary. Like, you have to unlock that door. You can't just think that you automatically get access to all these things. If I make a new friend, I'm not gonna put myself in spaces that this other person might be like, hey, slow down, we're not there yet. I'm not gonna put myself in that if I know I'm not invited in that space. So I just think, just always remember that in like unlocking the boxes, you have to diligently try to work on that relationship and work on getting to that point with that person. If you really want to get to that boundary, you just have to put in the effort. You don't get all the boundaries unlocked when you just get into a relationship with somebody. So yeah, just be mindful. I think the most common misconception is that just because we're friends, you get all the boxes unlocked. Let me tell you, no, you do not. I have a lot of friends that are ask a lot of questions, and sometimes I just have to be like, hey, I'm not really wanting to talk about this right now, or and we're not there yet. I gotta be honest, I'm probably one of the most honest people. I'm gonna tell you if I don't like how you treated me. I'm gonna tell you if I don't like this and that. Like, I'm not gonna let you just do whatever to me. And so that does get me in a lot of confrontations, I'll say, with people in my school. But at some point, I just don't care, and it's just like, I'm gonna say what I want to say, and if you don't want to mess with that with me, then move along. Like, I'm not begging anybody to be my friend. I think that's also important. With parents too, I think boundaries are also important. Like, if your child has a journal, don't go read in their journal. Like, that's between them and God. Like, you don't need to be all up in their journals and stuff like that. Like, that's private. I just feel like that's a boundary. Like, they're not snooping in your room, going through your drawers and stuff, looking for stuff. So I just feel like that's a boundary. And if you overstep that boundary and your child finds out about it, they're gonna be like, whoa, why you do that? You talk about those things, like, the common respect and the rules. Hey, I would appreciate if you didn't do this or you didn't do that, and really try to talk about it. And if you just can't talk about it, it's okay, because you're not gonna have to deal with it all your life. So I would just say, yeah, be open to talking about it with your parent. Like, if that happens, like, just try to talk to them about, hey, that's my personal thing, and I really would appreciate if you didn't go in that. So yeah, parent and child, like, cultivate that relationship. Keep that door open to where your child can talk to you, because if you give them like a whole bunch of oh no's and stuff, and I'm gonna just say it, it's not gonna make your child want to talk to you at all. Like, you're giving a whole bunch of rules, a whole bunch of stuff, like, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, they're gonna be mad if I told them this, so and so, and this. Like, I'm just not gonna say anything. So I just feel like, if you really want your child to talk to you, then like, cultivate that, and then still put in respectable boundaries with that, because your child don't gotta be your best friend. Oh yeah, y'all, that's kind of my cup of tea on that. Stop overstepping your boundaries. Common boundaries would be, not asking about a relationship to your friend too early, or unless they invite you, not asking about family matters and all these different things. And just recognize your common boundaries first. Remember that you have to work hard to unlock those boxes, and just be diligent in your relationships. Not invite yourself over people's house and in their space, because you wouldn't like if someone did that to you, and you can't be mad if they block you out because you invited yourself over and they did not invite you. 4 is not giving your opinion if it was not called for. And so yeah, y'all, I just really think that once you prioritize not stepping over your boundaries, then relationships will be so much easier. Like, with everything, just recognize where those boundaries are and don't overstep it. If your friend does not want to share something to you, don't get mad that they're not disassociating themselves. That's just their business and they don't want to share it, and you have to be okay with that, because there's some things that you don't want to share either. Respect all of your boundaries in life, because boundaries is not even just about relationships. Boundaries is about everyday life. You're driving a car, you can't pass the specific lines that they have on the road, because that's your boundary. Use that example in your everyday life. Don't be crossing over, swerving the car in somebody else's lane. Stay in your lane, because that is your boundary. Stay in your boundaries. You don't break the law, because your boundary is to stay within the law and follow the law, or you're gonna go to jail because you're getting outside of your boundaries. So you just want to make sure that you recognize what those boundaries are for yourself. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and I'm so glad I got to talk to you guys about boundaries today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and be smart, guys.